There is a mystery so often overlooked, yet it is etched into the very fabric of creation, a reflection of the eternal, of the Almighty himself. That mystery is the mother. Not merely a bearer of life, not simply a nurturer of flesh, but a sacred embodiment of divine intention. She is written into the blueprint of life, a living scroll that speaks not only of nature, but of heaven. The world may call her ordinary, but in the realm of the spirit, she is extraordinary. Her presence is not only biological, it is prophetic. Her love is not simply emotional, it is spiritual. Her role is not temporary, it echoes through eternity. For the heart of the mother is the reflection of God's own heart, a mirror of his mercy, his vigilance, his compassion, and his unwavering protection. God beginnated the heavens and the earth, and from the dust he formed man. But it was not good man to be alone. So from man's side, not his head to rule over him, nor his feet to be trampled by him, but from his side, close to the heart, he formed woman. And within her, he placed a power unlike any other, the power to bring forth life and to guard it. This is more than natural. It is divine. For in no other role is the image of God so deeply imprinted as in the mother's call to guard love and to intercede. It is not merely maternal instinct. It is a sacred watch assigned by heaven. The watch begins in the womb, but it does not end there. It continues through nights of prayer, through storms of fear, through years of intercession. And even when she is no longer seen, her voice still speaks before the throne of the Almighty. Why do the scriptures speak of God with maternal imagery? As one whom his mother comforts, so will I comfort you. How often I have longed to gather your children together, as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings. This is not coincidence, it is revelation. The qualities we often dismiss as soft or sentimental in the mother are the very reflections of God's own nature. Her comfort mirrors his mercy. Her protection reveals his strength. Her tireless love is a shadow of his eternal covenant. The child does not see it, cannot name it, but his soul knows in her arms the refuge. In her presence there is peace. In her eyes there is identity. She is the guardian. She is the voice that tells him who he is before the world speaks its lies. She is the shield that stands between him and chaos. Her heartbeat becomes his rhythm, her silence his calm. But what happens when the world begins to turn its back on this mystery? When the sacred role of mother is reduced, erased, or redefined? When her guardianship is dismissed as weakness, her devotion mocked as foolishness, her authority undermined by the culture of confusion? The enemy knows that if he can unseat the mother, he can unravel the child. If he can silence her voice, he can steal the child's identity. If he can wear down her strength, he can breach the walls of the home. This is not about sociology. It is about warfare, ancient spiritual warfare. In every age, there has been an assault on the image of the mother. In Pharaoh's Egypt, sons were torn from their mother's arms. In Herod's Judea, infants were slaughtered in Bethlehem's streets. And now in the modern world, the enemy no longer uses swords. He uses ideologies, screens, distractions, and lies. He tells the mother that she is outdated, unnecessary, even a hindrance to progress. He tells her to step aside so the world can raise her children. He tells her that her watch is no longer needed. But the heavens declare otherwise. She was made to be a guardian because she was patterned after the one who neither slumbers nor sleeps. She was formed to watch over life because life is sacred. Her tears are not weakness. They are intercession. Her prayers are not invisible. They are the incense of heaven, and when she speaks over her child, she is doing more than giving comfort, she is shaping destiny. When she kneels in the dark to pray, she is doing battle in the light. She carries burdens the world will never see, and makes sacrifices the world will never honor. But in the courts of heaven, she is known. She is remembered. She is the one who sees beyond the surface. Who discerns danger before it manifests? Who cries out when the rest of the world is asleep? She is the one who stands at the edge of her child's future and intercedes before it unfolds. She speaks into the storm. She shields from the arrows. She wars not with weapons of man, but the weapons of the Spirit in faith, hope, and love. She lays hands on fevered foreheads and declares healing. She breaks generational curses with whispered declarations. She fights darkness with lullabies in Scripture. She is the unseen sentinel at the gate of the soul. The guardian heart is a mantle. It is not man-made. It cannot be bought, and it cannot be faked. It is woven into the DNA of divine purpose. And no matter what the world does, no matter how far the child may wander, no matter how long the silence lasts, she watches. She waits. She loves without measure, without limit, without reason. Because the guardian heart is not of this world. It is a spark of eternity. So let the world mock. Let it redefine. Let it try to erase. The watch continues. The flame remains. The child may forget. The culture may rebel. But the guardian heart remembers, and the Lord who fashioned it watches still. Because the mother is not just a woman. She is a vessel of covenant. She is a mirror of divine mercy. She is the silent warrior, the tireless priestess, the keeper of the flame. She is not the shadow. She is the light that stands in the shadow, the whisper that drowns the lie, the prayer that births redemption. And her watch is eternal. She will not be moved. She will not be silenced. She will not abandon her post. Because the one who called her is faithful. And though the world may not understand her, heaven knows her name. There is a battle that rages in the unseen, a war not of flesh and blood, but of spirits, of destinies, of eternal things. It is a war that begins not on the battlefield, but in the home. And the front line at war is not marked by flags or armies, but by something sacred. Something the world forgets, but heaven remembers. It is the doorway of the home, the threshold of the child's soul, the first place where light meets darkness. And standing at that threshold is a figure appointed by heaven, not with weapons of iron, but with the fire of devotion. She is not dressed in armor, yet her resolve is stronger than steel. She does not raise a sword, yet she wages war. She is the mother, and her vigil is a prophetic sign in this age of trembling. The ancient prophets spoke of watchmen who stood upon the walls, who cried out through the night to warn of coming danger. But there is another kind of watchman. Hidden, uncelebrated, yet no less called. She stands not upon the wall of a city, but in the shadows of a nursery, in the silence of midnight prayers, in the doorway of her child's life. Her eyes are open when the world sleeps. Her spirit is awake when others grow weary. And though her name may not be recorded in the books of men, it is engraved upon the scrolls of eternity. The vigil of a mother is not casual. It is covenant. She does not watch because she must, but because she was created for this. Her vigilance is not born of fear, but of love so deep, so divine, that it mirrors the very heart of the Almighty. Her sleeplessness is not weakness, but warfare. Every time she kneels beside a bed, every time she prays in the silence, every time she weeps over her child's future, she is prophesying into the battle. She is declaring, this one belongs to the Most High. This soul is not for sale. This child will not be claimed by the darkness. And what does the enemy do? He comes not with open fire, but with deception, confusion, and subtle erosion. He seeks to enter the home unnoticed, to alter identities, to distort truth, to plant seeds of rebellion. He does not knock. He slips through entertainment, ideology, distraction. But the mother stands at the gate, and if she remains in her place, if she keeps the watch, then the enemy must reckon not just with her, but with the one who called her to stand. There is power in her presence. She may seem fragile, but she is immovable. She may seem small, but she carries the weight of generations. She may seem ordinary, but she is a sign and a wonder. Her hands may rock a cradle, but her voice shakes heaven. Her prayers ascend like smoke, like incense upon the altar, and heaven responds. Angels are dispatched at her whisper. Chains break at her intercession. Curses are reversed at her persistence. In a world growing cold, she is the warmth. In a culture growing dark, she is the light. She keeps the sacred fire burning when others have let it die. She teaches the name of God when the world teaches self. She lays the foundation of truth the lies ever arrive. She plants seeds of scripture, of righteousness, of purpose, and then waters them with tears that only heaven sees. She knows when her child is troubled, even before a word is spoken. She senses the danger before it arises. She discerns the wounds that cannot be seen, and she carries it all, not as a burden, but as a calling. When others say it is not her fight, she knows otherwise. When others say, let them grow on their own, she chooses to stand in the gap. She understands the times. She reads the signs. She knows the hour is late. And this is the sign that in the last days, love will grow cold, and many will forsake their post. But the mother who watches, the mother prays than who stands. She is a beacon. She is a light set upon a hill. Her home becomes a sanctuary. Her prayers become a fortress. Her life becomes a testimony to the faithfulness of God. This is not just about her own children. Her influence stretches further. Her vigil becomes a covering for the community, a warning to the nation, a reminder to the church. She becomes the voice crying out in the wilderness of modern confusion, prepare the way, O Lord, make straight the path. Do not surrender your children to the gods of the age. She is the voice that remembers the covenant, the hand that holds the torch, the presence that pushes back the darkness. Her motherhood is not a private affair. It is a prophetic role. She is the intercessor between what is and what is meant to be. She prays not only for safety, but for destiny. Not only for success, but for surrender. Not only for education, but for eternal purpose. And her prayers do not die. They are seeds that break open years later, decades later. They are echoes that reach into the corridors of the future. And even when her child wanders, when the path grows cold, when the face grows hard, still she watches. Still she believes. Because the watch is not based on behavior. It is based on promise. It is not based on the present. It is anchored in the eternal. Her faith does not waver with rebellion because she sees what others do not see. She sees the call, the potential, the divine mark. She remembers the promise whispered in the night. And so she watches. There are few things more dangerous to the enemy than a mother who will not stop praying. There are few forces more powerful than a mother who refuses to be moved. She will not hand over her children to the lies of the age. She will not yield her place to culture's confusion. She will not be silent while the enemy speaks. She has been awakened, and she will not sleep again. So rise, guardian of the home. Lift your voice again. Stand your watch. For your vigil is not in vain. Your prayers are not lost. Your labor is not forgotten. The Lord sees. The heavens hear. And though the night is dark, the dawn is near. You were placed at the gate not by accident, but by design. And what you cover now, heaven will uncover in glory. What you shield now, heaven will bless in fullness. You are more than a mother. You are a prophetic sign. You are a vessel of war and peace, of mercy and fire, of hope and holiness. Do not leave your post. Do not abandon your watch. For in your hands may rest the destiny of generations. And in your heart burns a flame that no darkness can extinguish. You are not alone, and you will not be overcome. There is a fire that does not die, a flame that endures long after the world grows cold. It is not the fire of fame or fortune, not the blaze of earthly power, but a hidden fire, the fire of a mother's love. It is fierce, unwavering, and eternal. It does not depend on applause, and it is not fueled by reward. It burns in silence and sacrifice sorrow. It burns in joy, in laughter, and in tears. It is the unceasing light that watches over the soul of the child. And even when the child forgets, even when the world forgets, she herself feels forgotten, still the fire burns. It is the eternal watch, the legacy of the guardian heart. A mother does not guard her child for a moment, a year, or even a season. Her vigil is not bound by time. The world tells her that once her child grows, her task is complete, but she knows otherwise. Her watch does not end with age. It does not end with distance. It does not even with death. The prayers she whispered in the darkness continue to echo in the light. The blessing she spoke in faith continue to shape the path. The protection she invoked by heaven's name remains like an unseen wall long after her arms no longer hold. Her watch is not a duty. It is a calling. It is woven into the essence of her being. It does not diminish with the passing years, it deepens. It is not lessened by silence, it is strengthened by it. The guardian heart is not extinguished. It becomes more luminous with every passing trial. There are children walking today unaware of how close destruction came, only to be held back by the intercession of a mother. There are souls alive today because a mother stood when no one else would. There are destinies preserved because a mother refused to give up. She fasted. She wept. She cried out when all others had given in. And heaven heard. The child may have never seen it. The world never recognized it. But the books of eternity bear the record. Every tear counted. Every word remembered. Every act sealed in heaven's archives. And when the mother is gone, the fire does not go with her. It remains. Her prayers outlive her. Her covering continues. The fragrance of her worship still lingers in the home. Her voice, though no longer audible, still speaks in the spirit. Her faith is passed like a mantle to the next generation. Her love poured out like oil becomes the anointing that marks her children forever. She is not gone. She is multiplied. The world may bury her body, but heaven raises her influence. She becomes part of the cloud of witnesses that surrounds her children's journey. And every time her child calls on the name of God, there is something in that cry that carries the echo of her voice. The child may wander, may rebel, may run, but he runs under the shadow of her intercession. He may choose darkness, but the light she lit in his soul cannot be easily extinguished. He may reject truth, but the truth she planted is still alive. He may try to silence her influence, but he cannot erase the seed she sowed, for she did not speak opinion, she spoke the word. She did not offer mere advice, she released prophetic blessing. She did not simply wish good things. She declared eternal purpose, and that cannot be undone. Even now, there are prodigals on the edge of return because a mother refused to stop believing. There are hearts softening because a mother continued to pray. There are chains breaking because a mother kept crying out when others fell silent. She saw what others missed. She held on when others let go. She believed in redemption when the world declared ruin. And because she held fast, heaven is moving. The guardian heart is the vessel through which divine mercy flows. When she forgives, she echoes the heart of God. When she embraces the fallen, she reveals the nature of grace. When she intercedes for her child's soul, she touches the altar of heaven itself. She becomes the bridge between the broken and the whole, the wandering and the home, the wounded and the healer. Her life becomes a testimony, her love a sermon, her endurance a prophecy. She is not just part of her child's past. She is part of their spiritual future. In the halls of eternity, there are crowns prepared not for those who stood in pulpits or ruled in power, but for those who stood in kitchens and cried out in secret. For those who sacrificed without thanks. For those who labored in hiddenness. For those who fought invisible wars for the souls of their children. Heaven does not forget. Heaven honors the unseen. Heaven exalts the faithful. So to the one who feels weary, unnoticed, unappreciated, know this: you are seen. You are heard. You are known. Your prayers are before the throne. Your labor is not in vain. Your watch has eternal weight. The enemy fears your persistence. The darkness trembles at your faith. The heavens move at your voice. You may think your strength is small. In God's eyes, it is mighty. You may think your love goes unseen. But in the Spirit, it leaves a trail of glory. You are the guardian heart. You are the eternal watch. You are the keeper of flame. What you have begun will not end with you. What you have protected will rise up in power. What you have watered with tears will blossom in the light. And the God who appointed you will complete you have begun. He will watch over your children as you have. He will speak to them as you did. He will pursue them even when you are gone. Because your heart was joined to his. Your love was an echo of his. And what is joined in heaven cannot be separated on earth. So continue the watch. Stand your ground. Speak the blessing. Break the curse. Declare the promise. Shine the light. You are not weak. You are chosen. You are not broken. You are on alone. You are aligned with the King of all creation. And the fire you carry is not your own. It is the fire of eternity. It will not go out. It cannot go out. It is the flame of the guardian heart, and it will burn forever.